All right. So we dabbed on, being left wing in 2022. What does it mean to be right wing in 2022? Well, numerous other strains, like I say. I mean, I kind of, like I say, it was a very general video. Same thing with this one. And like I say, there is something though that I did leave out, and I had a feeling I was going to. But calling people feds or CIA plants and whatnot, doesn't matter whether you're invoking Operation Gladio or you're talking about COINTELPRO. It depends on what you want to, which side of the, what sort of gay op you choose to, whatever your gay op of choice, to slander people with, either rightfully or not. Um, it's a very common tactic as well. Well, let's continue on. What does it mean to be right wing? Well, you can either be a right winger who wants to be like a MAGA populist, quote unquote, thinking that we're going to give Donald Trump another chance. He's going to do it this time because we don't want to be racist and we want to dab on Wignats, bro. And all that sort of thing. A lot of that energy has died off. Like I say, I mean, people can talk about groypers, this and that, or the appropriation of groypers, because groypers, I mean, it's all about being cozy. There was some great, like that Summer of Love video and all that from that groyper and all that. It was very cozy, and it wasn't full on like, let's do all that sort of thing. And like I say, when people talk about groypers and whatnot, I mean, I imagine people are going to write about it and have their own biased views, but it's much more complicated. But anyway, so moving on from that, you of course, I did mention Wignats. You can be a Wignat and support, I guess, Patriot Front or maybe the what is it even called? The National Justice Party. That's it. I couldn't think of it. And simp for that sort of thing, I guess, or just kind of be a you know post Fed shit on 4chan and stuff like that, and on Discord. Usually coming out as like a tranny, this and that, you know, or being a pagan. Like I say, I could have kind of talked about that in the left wing video as well, but doing that sort of thing, going more towards just the extremist sort of thing. Um, or he could be someone that's trying to reach out to lefties, or you may have, sort of left wingers who don't really care for the tranny stuff or the woke stuff, quote unquote. And so they get respect from, right wingers or whatnot. Think of the Glenn Greenwald. Of course, he's more of a lib, but that's a whole other story. Or the, what's her name? Who cares, frankly? Who cares? The Australian chick who's like Lebanese or something like that. Who cares, really? Mm. But you know, it's hard to say what's more cringe. I think another thing I left out of the lefty video was quoting a lot of theory. The thing is, right wing stuff. It's like you don't really see, even Wignats quoting Gottfried Feder, about whatever quotes this and that. And to a point, that's always going to be right wingers' choice. Is that you don't have to read a lot of material, this and that. And I know that this is, like I say, this is going to be like all the stuff that I left out of the left wing video, and I'm going to include it here. But so what? You can watch both, and like I say, it's not going to be more than maybe half an hour you need to watch of me just rambling and spurging out. So, shouldn't be too much. So, a lot of ways I have noticed this before, but a lot of people have compared lefties who quote Marx or Lenin or quote Ho Chi Minh or Min or whoever else to being like religious people. They consider it like the Bible, and all the stuff that goes on there. That's another aspect of right wing culture as well, where It's the whole paganism versus Christianity argument, the sort of tradcast versus Baptist versus Protestants argument. Like I say, there's a lot of that sort of spurting out as well. Is Nosbol really a thing? Like I said, that was an argument for a good long time. The Duganist sort of stuff, the anti-communist sort of thing, So, I mean, there's a lot of that. You could have localism, which I kind of talk about as well, and I somewhat believe, but like I say, I would like to think of myself as more of a centrist, as much of a evil term as that is, but I like to think of myself as that. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens and see who takes over. But at the present moment, I have no faith in either side, so-called left wing, so-called right wing, because ultimately you're gonna have a little bit of both, no matter what. You're gonna have a bit of authoritarianism, which is considered right wing, in a left wing government. You're going to. There are some ideas you're just going to ban. You're just going to ban outright. You know, much the same way as right wing governments are going to be somewhat left wing. They're going to allow quote unquote more universal health care, right? Or provide for unions or whichever, right? So, like I say, of course, I know that that comes down to third positionism. Oh, fascism. Oh, I know. People can be angry about that, but right wing folks are not so much on heavy on quotes or quoting books, but they will read a lot of books. Read the Evola, read the BAP, the Bronze Age pervert. Read the I don't know, read the Christopher Lash. Maybe I know that's kind of passe to this degree, or read the I don't know. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now because I've read some Carl Schmidt or whatever. Right, read these books so you can get a better understanding of stuff. So it's a different sort of thing, like I say, but unlike Marxists and whatnot, they don't expect you to quote, basically word for word what Marx or Lenin said. It's more of just getting an understanding of it. But like I said, it's a matter of opinion. Depends on how deep you go. Of course, you can talk about the folks that talk about Peter Wrangel, Piotr Wrangel, the of the White Army, or talking about I don't know Denikin, the general, fled to New York, I think, later in life. So it's much more different thing, I guess you could say. But MAGAPEDs are still out there. Wignats, I think, have lost a lot of visibility apart from Patriot Front. And of course, you can talk about Thomas Rousseau and all that. But in general, apart from Patriot Front, that's the only Wignat sort of thing that exists. National Socialist Movement no longer exists. Jeff Shep is now an anti-racist. Of course, Wignats are mercilessly made fun of, to be found out to be feds and whatnot. So, like I say, it does still exist, but it's in different forms. And, people have to, keep things on the down low a bit. So, we'll just see where that goes. Like I say, there's plenty of things to make fun of right wingers for. Absolutely. Just being out of touch, I think, living in the past, reading books by, I don't know, G.K. Chesterton, I don't know, or reading, C.S. Lewis, maybe these more Christian, uh, volumes, which, describe how religion is, or Catholicism more specifically. That happens as well, but I think that's more of a, it's basically as long as you're racist, then so what? Who cares, right? I mean, that's basically the right wing motto at this point, at least in the West. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but as long as you're racist and you make funny memes, who cares? So yeah, I think that's all I got on that one. It's about the same length as the other one, I think, maybe a little bit longer. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I'm going to put these up as a duo, so hopefully y'all enjoyed this. See you later. Goodbye.